Hello, it's Lion here with HobbiesofaMan once again, and today we are doing another TBR video. Today we're going to be doing our TBR video for the month of February. So this is going to be pretty digital heavy, so I'm not really going to have that many books to show you, but I will have pictures up of all of the books that I mentioned here somewhere on the screen, probably like right here, so that you guys can see what I'm talking about. So there's kind of a theme this month. I was trying to make it a shoujo themed month. However, I realized that most of these things that I have are not necessarily shoujo. They're just kind of romance in general. And I did the research yesterday, and I think half of them are shoujo or josei. The other half are seinen and shonen. Generally, most of them, I think almost all of them except one, like of the manga, deal with romantic situations. So it is more of a romance month than a shoujo month. And that is because I don't really like mixing the demographics with the genres. And even though most people think shoujo and romance go hand in hand, that is not necessarily the case. My ramble video is actually going to talk a little bit about the demographics, although I don't remember exactly what I said in it. Oh, I already recorded it though, so it might sound contrary to what I'm saying now, but it doesn't really matter. It is what it is. And yeah, so let's get started. I have a lot of stuff that I have left over from January that I'm going to still read this month, but I'm probably not going to focus on making videos on it. So the way things work when we're doing monthly themes is that during the week, every week, I am focusing on the thematic parts, and on the weekends is when I can do videos on other things. So Saturdays are usually going to be for Kaiju number 8 videos or reviews for things that didn't really have to do with the theme that I read, or, you know, anime reviews, movie reviews, whatever the case may be. And that's just how it goes. But Monday through Friday usually is related to the thematic elements that we're kind of looking at, right? So yeah, let's get started. Let's start with the novels. First, I have 2 carryovers from last month and 1 new one from this month. So first of all, we have Second Chance Swordsman by Jacob Tanner. I need to finish it. I'm at 40%. So if I push through a little bit, I should be able to finish reading it soon. And I hope that is the case, right? So yeah, then we have Lord of Goblins, number 3. I still need to finish reading this. I'm about a third of the way through this novel. And yeah, it's going all right so far. Honestly, don't remember too much about what happened in the previous one. So it took me a while to get situated. And that's why I read a bunch of it, then I stopped reading it. It was because I was kind of getting tired of having to like reach into the archives of my memory and remember what the hell was going on, right? So it is what it is, but I am liking it, so I will try to finish it this month as well. Then the new novel that we're looking at here today is called Reborn as a Hero, Asher Merrick, and this is a novel that was sent to me by the author. Specifically, the author's name is Solomon Ignis. And he sent it to me via email. He was like, hey man, can you review this for me? And if I remember correctly, he did tell me that this is mostly a haremlit type of story, not necessarily an isekai type story, but haremlit and isekai kind of go hand in hand in the English kind of market. So it's probably both, right? So yeah, but I do remember him thinking that it was more of a haremlit than a lit RPG type story. So that's good. It works out for me pretty well. So yeah, that's it for that. Let's move on to the comic books here. I was going to carry over all 3 of them, but I don't think Devil's Red Bride and Kingdom Come really worked for me this month. So we're only just going to focus on Weird World, which does have a kind of romantic element here. It's mostly this romance between these 2 characters that are the only characters in the whole world that look like this in a world of like more like gnome-looking people. So yeah, Weird World is the only comic book that I'm really focusing on this month, but I might go back and reread Sweet Paprika and do a review for this channel because that is an adult romance series, and I think it would be very good to kind of do a video on because I think it's something that a lot of American or kind of more Western fans of shoujo series and josei series like Sweat and Soap will probably really enjoy Sweet Paprika. So yeah, this is the only one that I'm, you know, putting my foot down and saying I am going to finish reading this month. However, I might also pick up and reread Sweet Paprika to make a review on it, right? So yeah, I hadn't really thought about that until right now, so that's kind of why I wasn't really planning on it. But it is a good idea since it is thematically linked to what I'm doing this month. So yeah, that's it for the comic book. So let's get right into the manga here. So first of all, the stuff that I have left over from last month, starting off with Solo Leveling number 5. This is not a manga; it's a light novel, but it is more of an otaku kind of side of things instead of a more Western side of things, right? So, although this is actually technically Korean, so it is not weeby or otaku, it is just like Asian media, I guess. So yeah, I'm very excited about this. If I remember correctly, the last thing that happened last time was that his sister was in danger at something like that. I'm not really sure, but I'm pretty excited to get back into it. So yeah, that's it for Solo Leveling. The other stuff I have left over from last month is Dragon Ball Piccolo Saga, which is the last segment of the original Dragon Ball series before we get started with the Saiyan Saga, which is really why I set out to read Dragon Ball, right? I wanted to get to Dragon Ball Z, and eventually I do want to read Dragon Ball Super, so I decided to start over from the very beginning instead of just kind of jumping in because, well, it's been a long time since I read Dragon Ball, and since Dragon Ball was my first manga ever, I thought it was kind of interesting to kind of go back and see what it was. And honestly, I like it, but it is a lot more different than I really remember. And I think I had a lot more fun with it when I was a kid than I do now. But hopefully, once we get to the good part, which is the Piccolo Saga and then the actual Dragon Ball Z kind of element, I'll have a good time with it. So yeah, and we also have to read Bleach Wekamundo entry, which is the next 21 chapters in the Bleach manga that I have not gotten to. So yeah, that's it for that. Let's move on to the stuff that I actually am planning to read this month seriously, right? So it's a bunch of digital comic books or digital manga that I have in Bookwalker. So first of all, we have Your Lie in April. This is a shonen. I don't know too much about it, but I know it's pretty good, and I know a lot of people like it. And I think this is one of the OG scenarios when I remember people getting mad at demographics, because a bunch of manga tubers would call it a shoujo, and it's not, but they would call it a shoujo because of the romantic elements in it. And yeah, but that was like 4 or 5 years ago. So yeah, I don't know if people even care about this series anymore, but I was interested in it, so here we are. Then I have My Idol Sits at the Next Desk Over. Apparently this is a Yuri. I did not know that. Although I think this is a shoujo? Maybe, I don't remember. But I did research it last night. I just don't remember off the top of my head. But yeah, not much to say about this one. I don't really know too much about it, except the fact that it is apparently a Yuri. Then we have Shikamori's Not Just a Cutie, and I have 5 of these volumes. I'm only planning on reading the first one, but if I like it enough, I'll read the rest of them. And probably won't do a review for them until the series finishes and I buy all of it. Just because that's how it goes. Or that's how I like to make videos, actually. And then My Darling Next Door, Volume 1. Again, I don't know too much about this one. I think this one is a josei, but I don't really remember. Then we have We're New at This, which I think is a shonen. And this might be Yuri as well. I honestly don't remember. I wrote it down somewhere. I just don't have it written down here in front of me. So I just don't want to go over and look at my desk and find it. So it is what it is. But yeah, we have 1122 for a Happy Marriage. This one seems kind of interesting. Then we have What I Love About You, Volume 1. Watari-kun's blank is about to explode. Honestly, every time I see that, I think it's a bad word. So, but there's too many characters for it to be. So I'm like, Watari-kun's cock? Watari-kun's butt? Like, I don't know what it is that is supposed to explode, but something is supposed to explode, and that seems kind of fun and interesting. So we'll see what it is. Then we have Rand the Peerless Beauty. This one seems very, very interesting. Then we're kind of going into the degenerate kind of side of things for a little bit. And we're going to be looking at Nagatoro volumes 7 through 9. This is the teasing kind of series. And honestly, it's not really teasing. It's straight up bullying, but it does eventually get better. But anyone that tells you that it gets better immediately is a liar. It is pretty bad for the first 3 or 4 volumes. And then eventually, like, she actually starts caring about the senpai character. And then it's like a pretty cute romance. But initially, it is pretty bad. And if you're someone that has problems with bullying, very severe problems with bullying, you might not like Nagatoro at all. So, Yeah, then we have Boarding School Juliet. Honestly, I don't think this one has anything to do with romance, but I'm pretty excited about this one, so I might as well just throw it in here. And yeah, first volume, and I have the second volume as well, so I'll probably get around to reading that one if it ends up being enjoyable. Then we have Quintessential Quintuplets number 2. I got rid of the first volume that I owned, but then the second volume was like 50 cents on Bookwalker, so I bought it, and we'll see if I like it. And then we have A Couple of Cuckoos number 1. This one was from the Humble Bundle that I bought last month. And again, I have 5 volumes of this. If I like it, I'll read all 5 of them. If not, I'll just stick with the first one, and I'll read the other ones later. We have Tokyo Mew Mew, which is a Magical Girl series, I think. And this one is an omnibus, so I'll have to read a lot for that one. And then finally, we have a few physical titles here. One of them doesn't have anything to do with romance, but I wanted to read it this month, so we're going to read it. And that would be Helk, number 1. Heard very, very good things about this, so I was very excited to check it out. And the female character here looks really, really cute, so there you go. That's it. And we have Komi-san Can't Communicate, number 22. And I think 23 comes out this month, so that'll be pretty cool and pretty exciting. And then we have Beauty and the Feast. This one is a romance series. And I guess this one's getting a little bit spicy because that's the first thing that you see when you open the book. So yeah, and then finally we have My Dress Up Darling number 7. Again, a very spicy but very wholesome series here. So yeah, there you go. I got ID'd buying 2 volumes of this last month, but I didn't get ID'd when I bought this one, so I don't know how that works. But yeah, I think it was just the place where I bought it. But yeah, it is what it is. There you go. That's the last thing on my TBR video, on my TBR list. And that is the end of my TBR video. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave a like, subscribe, and comment down below. Let me know what you thought. And thank you guys very much for watching. See you guys later.